Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. We've got things to talk about on the Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call, where you can call us on the Bordis and Bordis hotline, which is 412-575-2600. Tweet us at KDPomp, at Ron Cook PG. We have a lot to talk about with you, and we basically have 28 minutes of nonstop sports conversation.
How do you beat that?
No commercials tonight. We're having a little issue there, so even though our great sponsors, number one Cochrane, as well as Allegheny Health Network and Bordis and Bordis are on board, we have an opportunity to do some extended talking with you. So,
Bob, there's nothing more I'd rather do.
Well, let's talk about it, and we'll begin with the fact that the NFL season is underway. The Patriots are playing currently. Not many people expect Kansas City to go there and win, but Kansas City's given a pretty good first half, 17-14. The Steelers begin play Sunday. You'll see it on KDKA-TV against the Browns. Ron, I can't find a way, now that Myles Garrett is out for this game, that Cleveland can do anything but lose. Can you come up with a
Well, yeah, I mean, 2 or 3 or 4 turnovers.
Houston Texans back in the
Yeah,
day.
that was when Maddox threw, what, a couple interceptions were turned, a fumble was
Total
returned.
yards were like 500 to 20. But
Yeah, I mean, there's always a way, but you would think on paper. Now, I haven't seen what Garrett's injury has done to the line. It was 9. Has it gone up even more?
Last I saw, 9.5.
You know, the experts like the Steelers. I like the Steelers, but that's why they play the game. You never know.
What was your preseason prediction for wins? I thought 13-3 was what I was looking at, and I believe that'll give them at very worst a number 2 seed and a first-round bye, but hopefully they can get a 1 seed and home field if they happen to play New England.
I think I said 13-3 or 12-4. I can't even remember. You know, our picks are coming out in the Post-Gazette on Sunday. I picked the Steelers to win the Super Bowl, though, Bob.
So did I.
I picked them to win the Super Bowl over Atlanta. We'll see how that plays out. I'm usually wrong. People probably upset that I picked the Steelers, but I like their chances this year. I have them actually beating Oakland in the AFC Championship game. I have Oakland beating New England along the way in the playoffs. We'll see how that turns out.
Give me a team from the AFC who could be considered a dark horse. I like Tennessee to be in that group.
I picked them to win their division.
They're a really good team, and that division is crappy, quite frankly. So, I mean, divisions. I think the most competitive division will be the AFC West because you have Oakland, you have Denver, and they're always pretty good. You got San Diego, a team. I think 2 wild cards may come from the
Not
AFC
San
West.
Diego anymore, Bob.
Or whatever they are. You know
It's
how
the
long
Los Angeles
You know how long
Chargers.
it's going to take me to say
You
Los
said
Angeles?
San Diego. It's the Los Angeles
You know how long?
Chargers.
How many times have you done that when you talked about a relocation? And you
I
mentioned
know
the
where
Oaks,
they're
and
at.
I can't help
Bob,
it. Oakland,
I know
LA,
where they're at.
Oakland,
yeah,
LA.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I think that actually Tennessee, that division is going to be tough too, I think, to figure out.
Not as tough as that West.
I have Oakland winning the West. I have Oakland and the Steelers going to the AFC Championship game. But I'm always wrong. I just want to say that.
Well, we'll see. It should be a fascinating season. We'll take your predictions here at 412-575-2600. Also, the Pirates are in action tonight. They haven't done much. Jamison Tyone had a bad night, gave up 6 runs, early departure, and the Cubs were winning last check 8-1. I'm all, at this point, Ron, in favor of just maybe stopping Tyone, shutting him down for the rest of the year. If not that, then certainly extending his, in between days before another start. Because I think
he missed all that time with the cancer.
Cancer is a tough thing to come back
from.
I think the radiation, the chemotherapy, all the things that are involved weakens you, and I think it's just.
Well, I mean, they want to see what Glasnow does. I'd give Brault another start. I could see that. I mean, I don't know about Nova. They skipped his turn once. He just has had such a miserable second half. I want to see Glasnow pitch 2 or 3 more times before the season is over. I really do, because I keep hearing the scouts still love him. Let's see if he can't get something to build on going into the offseason.
We'll find out. We got a lot of things to talk about, so we invite you to call us at 412-575-2600. I'll definitely read some tweets as we go along because we have some time to fill here tonight. But let's go to Roger in Clearfield. First up tonight. Hey, Roger, how you doing?
Hi, doing good, fellas. Got bad news for the Steelers and good news for the Steelers.
All right.
The bad news is Brady's working with a trainer that thinks he can play quarterback till he's 40 years old by limiting his throws, not wearing his arm out.
Well, he is already 40. I think they're trying to get him to 45.
Yeah, 45 it is. I'm sorry.
Okay.
and he only throws 100 balls in practice. I know Ben threw 200 the other day, I heard. And that's the bad news, is he might make it till 45. The good news is I think the Steelers upgraded at tight end, wide receiver, backup running back, and they have a good backup on the defensive line and also in the secondary. So bring it on.
Let me give you, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate that. Ron, an over and under game that you and I can play. I'll give you a number. You tell me over and under. And I'll start with Martavis Bryant. Touchdowns, 8.
Under.
See, I'm going over. I think 10.
Okay.
Total yards from scrimmage. Le'Veon Bell, 2,200. Over. You think over? I think that's right on the line there. I think that's about, I mean, if you
he's my pick is player of the year in the AFC, offensive player of the year.
Antonio Brown, touchdowns made this year, over and under, 11.
Under.
I'm going over. I think he's going to lead the NFL in that. I think you're going to have 2 guys with double-digit. I really do. I think it's going to be an explosive offense.
I do too, but I don't know they're going to get that many touchdown passes.
All right, let's talk about defense. Cameron Hayward, Stephon Tuitt. Will they each get over and under 5 sacks?
Over.
I agree. Will the Steelers, for the first time since Harrison Woodley back in, I believe it was 2010, have 2 linebackers with double-digit sacks? Yes or no?
Under. No.
No. You don't think so?
No.
Why?
Double digit?
Double digit. 10.
You're expecting T.J. Watt to come in and get 10 sacks?
I'm expecting Dupree to have more than 10, and I'm expecting, I don't know who, but someone else to have double digits.
Harrison, maybe? I don't see both of them getting double digits.
All right. Let's go to Bob in Indiana. Bob, how are you tonight?
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Hey, 2 questions. Well, actually, one's a comment and a question. The comment was, I seen they put a stat up tonight with that RBI for Bell. I think he has the most for a rookie since 1940, and I think the fellow's name, I didn't catch it, but he had, I think, 112 RBI. So, that's kudos to Josh Bell for
great year.
What he's doing.
It really is. And if it wasn't for Bellinger, he'd probably be the rookie of the year in the National League.
Colorado pitcher's pretty good, too.
I understand, but he'd be right.
I have a vote, actually, for it. Bellinger's 1, Bell's 2 for me.
Yeah. All right, man, thanks. Appreciate the call. Let's move along. We got Mark in North Hills. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, guys, great show.
Thanks.
I just want to give you my theory about this Bob Nutting guy. I think if it was me, you, Bob, or Ron, if you had a business that made you $15 to $20 million in Wisconsin, and you never really went there and you didn't care, as long as that money comes back, I think you'd be happy. I think that's the way that's the way he plays the game. I'll hang up. Thanks.
All right. Well, first of all,
is he happy to be making money? Absolutely. Is he a great businessman? He's a tremendous businessman.
But that's not the
Doesn't necessarily mean he's a great baseball owner, though.
When it becomes a sports franchise, that means you're in it to win it. At least you should be, especially in a situation where you came into this situation and they had a brand new stadium. And how many times have we heard, Ron, well, if you show up, build it, we will come and we will spend. Have they really done that?
Well, Kevin McClatchy did in the beginning when he signed Jason Kendall to that monster contract, and it ended up hurting the franchise. So since then, no.
We got some tweets in. Jason Albert at KD Pump, at Ron Cook PG says, do you guys think the Steelers will blitz the rookie quarterback Kaiser a lot on Sunday? I think they will, actually. I think they've had a good success ratio against rookie quarterbacks. I think the best way to find out if the guy can deliver is to go after him and make him feel.
Well, I think they hope to get it with 4-man rush, but I think they'll mix up some stuff, sure. I didn't think Kaiser was very good at Notre Dame, but that's me.
I didn't think he was very good in the preseason, but they had no other options.
No.
Kevin Hogan and Cody Kessler.
27th starter. Right. Since they came in the league. And I love that stat. I tweeted out yesterday, Bob. I don't know. Well, I know you follow me like religiously.
I retweeted it.
If Ben wins Sunday, it'll be his 11th win in that stadium in Cleveland. He will become the winningest quarterback in that stadium. Think about that. Because Ben, this is 18 years. Derek Anderson won 10 games. Ben's won 10 games. Ben will win 11.
Yeah, pretty interesting
Crazy
stuff, and we'll see how it goes. By the way, Michael Smith on Twitter says, I looked it up. The 9 is still 9.5 in favor of the Steelers. I still think the Steelers will win this by more than that. We'll find out on Sunday. We're going to take a break here, and we will come back with more of your calls. 412-575-2600 right here live on Pittsburgh CW.